Hi there, it's Jenny from Ads Uncorked. So today I want to chat with you about Google Analytics. If you followed me for any period of time, you know that I'm always talking about getting the pixel installed on your site, which is super important before you set any ads live. But today I want to chat about Google Analytics. This is something that I oftentimes help my clients get set up with on their site if they haven't done it already. And the reason that I also like to get Google Analytics set up is because Google Analytics helps us get more of a holistic view of what's happening on their site. Whereas the Facebook Pixel, it helps us with retargeting. We can quickly grab info on conversions, sales, signups, whatever it is that we're measuring. But what Google Analytics allows us to do is see what pages people are visiting, when they're falling off of maybe a purchase cycle. It also helps us with conversion tracking too. We can kind of double check and see similarities and differences between what we're seeing on Facebook and Google Analytics. So anyway, today what I'm going to do is show you guys around within Google Analytics briefly, but I want to show you how you can get an analytics tracking code and how you can get it on your site. Now, installing it on your site, a simple Google search will show you how to do it. I'm going to show you specifically on a Shopify site today, but know that it's a pretty easy thing to do once you know how to create your code and what it's going to look like. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. So first things first, if you don't have a Google account already, go ahead and create one. And then I want you to go to analytics.google.com and it's going to prompt you to go ahead and set up your account. Then after you set up your account and tell them what your website is, your analytics account will look like this. You can see that we're not tracking any users, there's no session, there's really no data in here yet, but we can quickly get the info that we need. So what we're going to do is head on down to admin on the bottom left-hand corner. And we're going to get a little tracking code. It's just a string of numbers and letters that will be copy and pasted onto our site, and it will track on every single page. So now what we are going to do is click on Property Settings. And you can see here that I have this UA tracking ID. So this is what we're going to copy and paste into our site. And like I said, today we're going to work on a Shopify site. I'm going to copy and paste this over into my note over here. And once we have it copy and pasted on our site, all of this info will start populating, which is super exciting. I'm not going to spend too much time digging into everything here, but I want to show you guys briefly. Over here on the left-hand side under the reports column is where you can see all of the different measurements that we'll be able to take a look at. You can see real-time traffic, so how many people are on your site and what they're doing right now, where they're coming from, their traffic sources. So if they're coming from social media or organic traffic or a certain blog post of yours, you can see all of that info here. You can also measure your conversions here too. That's a story for a whole different time, but you can measure your conversions here. You can see what pages they're visiting and how they get from one page to another page, which is really, really valuable. Anyway, today's tutorial is how to get this installed on your site. So I want to show you guys here. If you have a Shopify store, this is how you're going to do it. If you don't have a Shopify store, simply Google how to get an analytics tracking ID on your site. They all end up looking a little bit similar. In the end run, we end up putting it typically under some kind of settings or preferences. So if you have a Shopify store, click on Online Store and then Preferences. And then here you will see we've got a whole bunch of different options, including the Pixel ID, which is already on here. And then all we're going to do is go ahead and copy and paste from Google that string of letters that I just gathered. All right, I'm going to click Save. Okay, it says Settings Saved. So now what we're going to do is head to the site and see if it actually is on here and if it's tracking. All right, so there are a couple little tools that you can use to know if this is working properly. This is for a client site of mine. This isn't my site in particular, but you can see that I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. All right, just needed to be refreshed. Now you can see result of the tag analysis is that code that I just copy and pasted, it's here now. It's really that simple. It's not nearly as scary as it seems, but now this information is tracking and populating on my client's website, which is really, really exciting. So what you would want to do to get this plugin, it's a free plugin, it's just called Google Tag Assistant. So go ahead, get that installed on your site. And now if sorry, don't get it installed on your site. It's just a free like Chrome add-on that you can add here to your bar up top. Perfect. Yeah. So just Google it. It should be the first thing that you see, and it'll be a free Chrome extension for you. So you'll simply download it, and then, yep. So it's an extension. I've already downloaded it, but yours would say download for Chrome. And then here we are in her site. We'll go ahead and refresh. And it's saying that there's one active user right now. Before it said 0 because we didn't have this set up on her site, but now it's tracking that I am on her site, which is wonderful. And we are all set up and ready to go. So you can see that here, and also if you were to click on real time overview, then you can see all of, and you can dive into all this information here about what the users are doing in real time, which is really neat. So if you have any other questions about getting this installed on your site or any other content that you want covered, go ahead, shoot me a message. I'd love to connect with you. As always, you can check out more free tips and tricks from us at www.adsuncorked.com, and make sure to check out our shop. We have so many awesome free video bundle pack tutorials for you. It covers everything from conversion tracking, so diving more into this, conversion tracking, how to know if your ads are working, how to write effective ad copy, and so much more. All right, we'll talk to you soon.